Hey guys, I gotta tell you this story. Gotta tell you the story about how I got my shrunken head. Rest in peace, Bray Wyatt. As you all guessed, the next book review is Goosebumps, How I Got My Shrunken Head. But first, before we get into that, hello everybody, Z3KO Trinity here. Welcome back to Goosebumps 3KO. Hope you guys are having a good time. I got a little bit of a different background for you this time, so yeah, let's dive into this, shall we? Do you guys like How I Got My Shrunken Head? Because I actually really like this. I thought it was a good story. Turns out to be more of an adventure story, more as a scary story, in my opinion. But I really enjoyed it. So yeah, let's get into this. What's it about, you ask? Well, it is about a boy named Mark. He is 12 years old, and he loves playing video games. He has these friends that want to go outside and, like, hey, let's go do something else. And he's like, oh, y'all just jealous because y'all suck at this Jungle King game, which is for, like, the PC or something. But, yeah. So, he's just all the time playing it. I could see him in his room playing it, screaming, Kalia! Kalia! And his mom, I bet she was annoyed. Like, she said, damn, all he does is play that game. Kalia! But, yeah, apparently this word had popped up into his head, and, which makes me think of the villain in the Indiana Jones movie. I think it was like Kali Ma or something like that. Yeah. But, Earlstein! But, anyway, this phrase had popped in his head. He doesn't really know what it means, what it stands for. He probably thinks he just made it up. Sounds cool. And I like how in the episode, he like kind of says that it makes him feel powerful. Like it makes him feel like good. So I do like that little detail in the episode. But what this is about is they get a visit from this woman named Carolyn. Or Caroline, something like that. It's been a little while since I read this, but she comes up, she's like, oh, I'm an associate of your Aunt Benna, someone who he hasn't seen since he was about 4 years old or 2 years old, something like that. And he's like, oh, how is she? How come she didn't come? And she's like, oh, she wants me to, wanted me to come and give you a gift. And so she gives him his shrunken head, which is kind of cool. I know the native stuff, like, there are real things as shrunken heads. It would be kind of creepy to actually have one. I would kind of like one. That would be kind of neat, but yeah, I'd be too afraid that it would talk or do shit in the night, Well, eventually she tells him that his Aunt Benna does need his help and that she's somewhere in the jungle of Bend Me Over. Oh, it's a Balladora. Dora the Explorer. And she needs his help. Well, that night, he hears like voices and stuff like that. Thinks it's coming from the shrunken head. Turns out to be his sister. And they kind of have this little tussle over the head. And she ends up scratching the ear on the head. Which would piss me off as a collector. I'd be like, you just ruined it. But it comes back in the end, you'll see. I love when stories do that. Like, there's little details that actually have a purpose. But, yeah, so he swore, that it was talking, but it was just a sister. But he does end up seeing its eyes glow, and it floated. And obviously, when he tells his mom and them, they don't believe him. But Carol Ann's kind of like, oh, he's the one. So they take this plane all the way to another plane, which is the only plane that can get him onto the island. Now, there's this guy. He's pretty just basic in the book. I done forgot his name. It's like Gyarados or something weird like that. But there's another guy in the episode. I think his name was Jimmy. Now that guy really brought life to the character. Instead of just a simple like weird dude bringing them to the island and dropping them off, he's like, you know, dressed as Elvis. He's like, I'm gonna be a Hollywood star. Now that stands out to me. I've really enjoyed how that act. I don't know if it's the actor's choice that if he decided to up that character, that line, or what. But great job with that. It's gonna kill me. I left my notebook in the living room, so it's gonna kill me. I'll probably put his name like right here. But yeah, so they get on this island, and he meets Dr. Richards and his daughter Kareem, cream of the crop, and cream and sugar. So they're like, "Hey, nice to meet you. We're doing studies on this island, studying the wildlife, the animals, all the kind of stuff." And he's like, where's Aunt Benna? And they're like, well, we're going to go ahead and tell it to you straight. Your Aunt Benna is dead. No. He says, your Aunt Benna has been missing for months now. And you're the only person that can help find her. And he's like, really? Why me? What's so special about me? And they're like, you have jungle fever. No, they say you have jungle magic. And he's like, what? And he's like, the last time you saw Aunt Benna, did she give you something or anything like that? Apparently, she had bestowed upon to him jungle magic. And so they're like, we need this magic to find her. Because she's in danger. These are dangerous. This is a dangerous jungle. So he's like, I don't really no. She didn't give me nothing special. So later on, he snoops around and finds her journal, which explains that the Dr. Richards is actually an evil guy. He's planning on using that magic for evil to destroy the island, all that kind of stuff. And apparently he's going to shrink her head or shrink people's heads or something. So he takes it upon himself to leave and go find his aunt. He has a run-in with Kareem, but she's like, no, I don't believe in my dad's research. I have nothing to do with this. You just go on. I won't tell him. He's like, okay. So anyway, he's walking in the jungle. We're not afraid. Sorry, had to throw that in there. Watched that video many times. But he's walking through the jungle. And he gets real tired. So he leans up against this tree. And he goes to sleep. Well, when he wakes up, he is covered from head to toe in red ants. Ouch. I've had a few run-in with red ants before in my time. Ouch. I don't know. I can't remember if they were giant or pretty big sized. I can't remember that much. But yeah, he has run in with that, and he's instead of screaming "Oh God, help me!" he screams "Oh Kalia, college cheese!" And apparently every time he says it, they all fall off of him. So he keeps saying it, and eventually all of them just leave. And so he's like, well, that's strange. So then he keeps walking in the jungle, and then, oh no, he's in quicksand. What are we gonna do? So he's like, wait a minute, it worked with the ants. Let me try it again. Kalia! Kalia! But nothing's happening this time. And he figures it out. He's like, wait a minute, I don't have the shrunken head. So he grabs his shrunken head and he's going, Kalia! Kalia! And eventually a vine comes sneaking in and it saves him. And then, of course, one thing leads to another. And so as he's continuing on, feeling powerful because he has this jungle magic and he's figured it out, well, he has a run-in with a tiger. And he's like, whoa, He's, whoa! And, no, it's not Tony the tiger. He ain't offering cereal. But he has a run-in with the tiger, and, he's like, I ain't afraid of you. Kalia! But then the ground starts opening up, and he falls into this pit. It saves him from the tiger, but now he's in trouble. And he's going, Kalia, 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 but nothing's happening. And, well, Kareem shows up. And she saves him. She's like, I've been following you, just want to make sure you're okay, basically. I was curious about finding her, too. So then they continue, and they eventually do find her in this, like, hidden shack in the woods or something. So they find her, and she tells him the truth, like, oh, they're evil. They were planning on doing all this, so I went and hid. She very skeptic of Kareem, but he's like, oh, no, don't worry. She's okay. She's cool. But she's not cool. No, she's not cool, you guys. Because she pulled a 180 on him. That was a 360, but she pulled a 180 on him. Said, I was working with my dad all along. Totally wouldn't see that coming. And so the dad and Caroline, whatever, shows up. And they capture him. And they bring him back to their place. They have all these, like, a pile of shrunken heads. And, which Mark's shrunken head gets put in the mix, too. So he's like, oh, no, I don't know which one's mine. But they got this giant pot, and they plan on shrinking their heads if they don't tell them how to do jungle magic. So I guess that's how it works. If you put them in the pot, it'll shrink their heads. Maybe Scholastic or something was like, no, you can't say you'll boil them alive. That's a no-no. We don't allow that in our elementary schools. But, so yeah, they threaten them. Well, they get into this tussle with Aunt Benna. She's, like, fighting them off. Mark runs over to the pile, and he's looking through the heads. And then, oh, wait a minute. His sister scratched the ear, you remember? So he finds his shrunken head. He's like, oh, there it is. And so he holds it up high, and he says, Shazam! No, he says, Kalia! And, well, apparently, this causes Dr. Richards, Carolyn, and Cream of the Crop to shrink. That's right. Not their heads, their whole bodies. Like, they just shrink to the size of, like, ants, and apparently they take off running into the jungle. So, with all that kind of stuff going on in the jungle, I'm pretty sure they're going to die. But yeah, they're never heard from ever again. So, I was going to say Aunt Donna. That's my aunt. Aunt Benna takes the kids to back home. The one kid back home. She takes his jungle magic from him. Takes the jungle magic, but still says he can keep the shrunken head as memories and stuff like that. And he's on his way to school, and he's like, "Oh man, I can't wait to tell the kids all about what happened, my adventure and everything." Well, as the big cold twist, I don't even know if I could say it. I'm so scared. The head opens its mouth and looks at him and says, "Can I tell them the story about the tiger?" No lie, that's literally how it ends. The head, I'll read it to you, maybe. That's definitely not it. That's from Living Dummy 3. Alright, here we go. As I ran across the street, I suddenly felt the head move in my hand. "What you doing there, Mark?" It twitched. "Huh?" I let out a gasp and stared down at it. The eyes blinked and stared up at me. The lips closed, then opened again. "Hey, kid," the head growled. "Let me tell the part about the tiger." Yes. And I kind of like that. It's a cute ending, really good adventure story. Not really scary. Just it's really cool, really unique, and I enjoyed it. I also really like the art of this, the messy drawer, the picture of the truck, the actual drawing of the shrunken head is really neat. So yeah, I love this. Did you guys like this story? Did you hate it? Was it a F minus for you guys? Was it an A plus? To me, I think it's right in the middle. I actually give this a solid 5.5 out of 10, which is a C minus. I enjoyed this. I thought it was really good, really fun, a nice adventure story to kind of change things up. I didn't hate it, but also it ain't one of my top favorites either. Just, it was right in the middle. I thought it was really good. So yeah, let me know in the comment section what you think. Otherwise, I'll shrink your head. This is the only thing I had on my hand. On my hand? Yeah. What should I do? Oh, no, that's the only thing that I had at the moment. But all right, let's do the fun part. It says heads up. Ha! I get it. Ah, that's good. Two heads are better than none. Oh wait, it says one. Why did I think it said none? Two heads are better than one. What has two? Oh, a joke. What has two eyes, a mouth, and wrinkly green skin? I don't know what. Mark Shrunken head. Oh. Mark Shrunken beater. I mean head. It's a present from his Aunt Banana. A gift from the jungle island of Balladora, the Explorer. Mark can't wait to show the kids at school his shrunken Peter. His shrunken head. It's so ugly, so gross, his Peter. So awesome. But late one night, the head starts to glow. Because it's no ordinary head. It gives Mark strange power. Shazam. A magical power. A dangerous power. Ah! Reader, beware. You're in for scar. Coming soon from our time, not a living dummy dooskies. Oh wait, 3. I left out a line. Yeah, what did you guys think? Did you guys enjoy this? What do you think of the art? Is this one of your top favorites? Let me know. You guys just gotta let me know. Otherwise, I guess